Hello, I'm Dave Osborne, CEO and General Manager of Valley Telephone Cooperative. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at the new towns that VTX Telecom will be serving. VTX Telecom provides many broadband applications including voice telephone service, long-distance calling, ultra-high-speed internet, and IP television. Previously, we visited the original telecom test market, Dilley. Now we'll visit Raymondville, Lyford-Sebastian, Santa Rosa, Orange Grove, and Agua, Dulce. Some of you might already know your neighbors in these towns, but we hope to surprise you with some new information about our communities. Known as the gateway to the Rio Grande Valley, the city of Raymondville is located where US 77 meets Texas 186, and it is the Willacy County seat. The town was formed in 1904 by Mr. Edward B. Raymond and Ms. Henrietta King of the King Ranch fame. In 1952, the town became the home and headquarters for a newly formed telephone company, Valley Telephone Cooperative, Inc. The primary industries are farming and ranching. The main crops from the Willacy County Farmers Co-op in gin are cotton, grain sorghum, sugar cane, and vegetable and fruit truck crops such as onions, oranges, grapefruit, cabbages, and lettuce. Though farming endeavors are aided by a vast network of irrigation canals, 50% of the tillable acreage uses dry land methods. Some ranches in the area raise cattle, but most have gone to high fencing and have been stocked with many types of exotic game chosen for their trophy capabilities. With 6 boot-making shops, including the world-famous Rio Boots, Raymondville was once the cowboy boot capital of Texas. The automation of the ranching process and the subsequent decline in the number of cowboys in need of boots has greatly diminished this industry, yet there are still 2 fine bootmakers in operation today. The local economy has been aided by the opening of 3 correctional institutions, 1 at the state level and 2 at the federal level. Raymondville has 2 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and a Class AAA high school. Their mascot is the Bearcat. Just across from the high school, the Raymondville Rural Technology Center holds remote classes from the University of Texas at Brownsville and Texas State Technical College in Harlingen. This allows distance learning via full-motion video classes and gives high school students the opportunity for advanced class placements. VTX has been providing high-speed internet via fiber optics to Raymondville schools since 2005. Valley Telephone Cooperative will be moving into its new VTX corporate headquarters located at 881 East Hidalgo Avenue in November 2012. Some of the highlights of the Raymondville civic and social scene are the Willacy County Junior Livestock Show and Fair in the 3rd week of January, the Chamber of Commerce Gala in the 2nd week of February, the Willacy County Museum and Historical Society's Texas Independent Chuck Wagon Cook-Off in the 4th weekend of March, the 4th of July Smiley Park Picnic and Celebration, and the Wild and Willacy Boot Festival held the last weekend in October. It is estimated that approximately 30% of VTCI's employees make their homes in Raymondville. With 3,074 housing units and a population of 11,284, Raymondville offers VTX Telecom a chance to gain several thousand customers in a single incorporated town. Raymondville is a good town to visit and a great place to live. Just south of Raymondville lies the Lyford-Sebastian service area. This area is unique in that it is comprised of 2 distinct communities, Lyford and Sebastian. Located on US 77 and Texas 498, Lyford can be traced back to when the area was known as Como se llama, Spanish for what's its name. In 1904, the St. Louis, Brownsville, and Mexico Railroad built through the area. Even though it was operating as a town, it didn't officially become one until 1907 when a plat was filed in Willacy County. It was named after Chicago railroad lawyer William H. Lyford. Many of the early settlers were from Illinois, Iowa, and Indiana, and were of German descent. In 1956, the Missouri Pacific Railroad bought the rail line, and that later merged with Union Pacific, which still serves the area to this day. The town's main industry is agriculture, with both dry land farming and irrigated farming, aided by a vast network of canals. The main crops from the Lyford Farmers Co-op in Ginn are cotton, grain sorghum, sugar cane, and citrus fruits. There is a small amount of truck farming with onions, cabbage, and lettuce. The Lyford Cotton and Grain Cooperative's large grain silos and elevators can be seen from a distance. The cotton warehouse takes up most of a city block. Lyford has an elementary school, a middle school, and a Class AAA high school whose mascot is the Bulldog. During the fall football season, the rivalry between Lyford and Raymondville is settled on a football field in a traditional game called the Cotton Bowl. VTX Communications has been providing high-speed internet to the Lyford residents via fixed wireless since 2004, but much of this technology will be replaced with fiber optics. With 829 housing units and a population of 2,611, Lyford is expected to provide several hundred customers. During the summer, the City of Lyford sponsors movie night in the park. Lyford's 4th of July celebration is an event that is fun for the entire family. In the first weekend in December each year, Lyford has a Christmas parade filled with imaginative floats and marching bands. Just 4 miles south on U.S. Highway 77 Business and Texas FM 448 sits the little community of Sebastian. Formed in 1909, its name came from Mr. John Sebastian, an executive with the Rock Island Railroad. Prior to getting an official name, the area was called Stillman, a name that lives on in a geographic area a little east of the town. The industry that sustains the livelihood in Sebastian is identical to that of Lyford. Similar to Lyford, Sebastian has the roadside mercados and fruit stands for tourists and travelers headed out of the valley. The children of Sebastian attend school in Lyford. Sebastian is not classified as a fully developed town, but has received a designation as a Census-Designated Place, or CDP. Sebastian has 682 households and a population of 1,917 residents. VTX Telecom should be able to attract approximately 400 to 500 new customers from the Sebastian area. Several VTCI employees live in the Lyford-Sebastian area, and we are delighted to have the opportunity to serve these sister cities. In northwest Cameron County on Highway 107 and FM 506 is the community of Santa Rosa. Though the town takes its name from Mr. Charles Stillman's Santa Rosa Ranch, the town's founding is credited to Mr. William H. Foster, who organized the town in 1913. The primary crops are cotton, grain sorghum, and sugar cane. There's a sugar mill 4 miles west of downtown. Citrus groves filled with oranges, grapefruit, and valley lemons surround the town. Many residents work in Harlingen, Brownsville, Lafayette, and Mercedes. Santa Rosa has a new elementary school about 2.5 miles north of town and a new middle school and Class AA high school in the downtown area. Their mascot is the Warriors. With 875 housing units in town and a population of 2,873, and a nearby census-designated place with an additional 92 housing units and 241 people, Santa Rosa offers VTX Telecom the chance to gain at least 400 to 500 new customers. They will be served out of the La Serra Work Center, but a local storefront might be acquired or leased to have sales and customer service personnel available in town. In northwestern Jim Wells County sits the town of Orange Grove. In 1889, George and Hannah Reynolds donated 51 acres to the Aransas Pass Railway for the development of a town as incentive for building a railroad stop on their Ventana Ranch. In an effort to attract newly arriving German immigrants to the town, they named it Orange Grove to evoke images of a booming citrus industry like that of the Rio Grande Valley. It worked, and though the citrus industry never took off, The residents became proficient farmers and livestock ranchers. Today, the dryland farmers raise cotton, grain sorghum, sunflowers, oats, and flaxseed. The ranches in the area are primarily stocked with beef cattle. However, in recent years, there have been some attempts to raise Boer and Spanish goats. Orange Grove is home to several oil and gas industry service support companies. Orange Grove has 2 elementary schools, an older and newer junior high school, and a Class AAA high school. Their mascot is the Bulldog. In the spring, Orange Grove has an annual May Feast, and in the fall it hosts a Harvest Festival. With 561 housing units in town, an equal number in the suburbs, and a population of 1,318, VTX Telecom will be a premier provider of telephone, internet, and IP television entertainment service in the area, providing the co-op a chance to gain several hundred new customers. In addition, housing developments are beginning to emerge on the west side. It is expected that Orange Grove will continue to grow and expand with Corpus Christi's petroleum refining business. The town will be served out of the George West Business Office and Work Center. VTX Telecom will enjoy serving the fine residents and businesses in Orange Grove. Winding up this portion of the program is the beautiful city of Agua Dulce. The town's name is Spanish for sweet water, after the nearby creek enjoyed by the early explorers and residents of the area. Settled in 1900, the town is located in west central Nueces County and is bisected by Texas Highway 44 with Alice to the west and Bankhead to the east. Texas FM 70 connects Agua Dulce to Orange Grove on the north and Kingsville on the south. The chief industry in the area is farming, and the major crops are grain sorghum and cotton. Tall grain elevators can be seen from miles around. Many residents work in the nearby petroleum refineries of the Corpus Christi Bay front area. Agua Dulce has an elementary school, middle school, and Class A high school, located on the same campus in the northwest corner of town. Their mascot is the Longhorns. With 285 housing units and a population of 812, Agua Dulce offers VTX Telecom a chance to gain several hundred new customers in the service area. The residents and businesses have been looking forward to the arrival of VTX Telecom and the competitive service it will bring. After the break, we'll take a look at more up-and-coming VTX Telecom communities.
Want to know more about interesting people and places in South Texas? Follow me on a journey of inspiration and insight that will offer a deeper connection with people and businesses in our community.
This is called a scary situation now. This is not an easy business.
Don't miss new episodes of Backroad Reporter with Annie Studebaker on VTX TV Channel 1.
Welcome back. Let's continue our review of future VTX Telecom communities by visiting Falfurrias, Premont, Three Rivers, George West, Jourdanton, and Charlotte. These are some of your neighboring towns that will become part of the VTCI family of companies, and we would like for you to know a little about them. At the intersection of US 281 and Texas 385 is Falfurrias, the Brooks County seat. Mr. Edward C. Lassiter is credited with organizing and building the town in 1895. To attract new land buyers, Mr. Lassiter advertised cheap land to the upper Midwest and the East Coast of the United States. But the real catalyst for growth came in 1904 when he convinced the San Antonio and Aransas Pass Railway to build a railhead for shipping livestock out for processing. At one time, Falfurrias was home to the world's largest Jersey cow herd. In 1940, the Border Patrol opened the Falfurrias traffic checkpoint on Highway 281. It stands watch over the heaviest corridor of illegal alien and drug traffic in Texas. The Department of Homeland Security Border Patrol employs many residents. There is also a state correctional institute located to the northeast. Many residents work in farming, ranching, and the oil business. Falfurrias provides many support services to oil operations, benefiting from the Eagle Ford Shale Formation. Brooks County's hunting opportunity for wild game such as white-tailed deer, Rio Grande wild turkeys, blue and bobwhite quail, and white-winged doves are some of the best in the state. Falfurrias ISD has a beautiful campus with an elementary school, middle school, and a Class AAA high school located on the northwest side of town. Their mascot is a Jersey cow. Falfurrias has 2,139 households and a population of 4,981. From meetings with the Chamber of Commerce, we've been able to project another 1,200 to 1,500 new customers. VTCI has participated in the Falfurrias Chamber of Commerce banquet held every January and has been a past sponsor of the VFW Roping Fiesta held the second week of October. VTX Telecom will enjoy serving the fine residents and businesses in Falfurrias. Just north is the sister city of Premont. The town was organized and named for Mr. Charles Premont in 1908. Advertising the good land and growing climate attracted immigrants from the Northeast and Midwest United States. In 1914, the San Antonio and Aransas Pass Railway built a rail stop for loading and unloading goods. Over the years, farming, dairy farming, oil and gas exploration and development have had boom and bust cycles for the area, but Premont has endured. Premont has an elementary school, a middle school, and a Class AA high school located on the same campus in the southwest corner of town. Their mascot is a cowboy. With 1,076 housing units and a population of 2,653, Premont offers VTX Telecom a chance to gain between 600 to 800 new customers in that service area. With the VTCI Concepcion Exchange to the west, the residents and businesses in Premont know the quality and value of the services from VTX Telecom, and they are anxious for our services to arrive. You'd think it would be easy to tell how Three Rivers got its name, with the Frio, Atascosa, and Nueces rivers merging just outside of town. In 1913, Mrs. Ann T. Hamilton paid the San Antonio, Uvalde, and Gulf Railroad to build a depot on her land. At her insistence, Charles R. Tipps organized a townsite company and began selling land to future residents of Hamiltonburg. After mail kept getting sent to Hamilton, Texas, Tipps suggested that they rename the town Three Rivers, and in May of 1914, the U.S. Post Office approved. In the 1920s, oil and gas were discovered and a small refinery was built. Over the years, it was expanded and improved, and now it is the home for Valero's large multi-fuel refinery. Live Oak County is in the heart of the Eagle Ford Shale Formation, and so oil and gas support companies do quite well here. The area supports dryland farming and well-irrigated farming, with cotton and grain sorghum as the major cash crops. The local farmers' co-op has a cotton gin, large grain elevators, and storage silos. From the mid-1960s to the mid-1970s, a uranium mine was operated northeast of Three Rivers in the Ray Point area, and recent news claimed to have the potential for reopening and expanding the mine. In 1988, the Frio River was dammed up between the Three Rivers and Callahan, creating the Choke Canyon Lake, which has become well known for great bass fishing. Three Rivers has a full campus on the east side of town with an elementary school, a junior high, and a Class AA high school. The team mascot is a bulldog, and they are the arch rivals of their sister city to the south, George West. Three Rivers has several major events worth visiting. First, the Chamber of Commerce has its annual chamber banquet in late January. Next, the Live Oak County Fair and Livestock Show are held the third weekend of March every year. This provides countywide 4-H'ers and FFA'ers with a place to show their show animals and handy talents such as cooking and crafts. Usually at the beginning of April, Three Rivers hosts the Salsa Fest, where they judge many categories of the wonderful concoctions that grace the top and tip of a tortilla chip. The Quality Bass Club holds 3 bass fishing tournaments in 2012, one in May, another in July, and the last in October. A few residents own land in the Tilden and Anna Rose areas, and they know the excellent quality and full range of broadband services that VTCI can provide. VTX Telecom will be bringing these same technologies to the residents and businesses in the Three Rivers Exchange service area, which will be serviced out of the new George West Work Center. With 845 housing units and a population of 1,848, Three Rivers should produce more than 600 new customers. It's been a long time coming, but it will be well worth the wait to replace Verizon with all that VTX has to offer. Next, we will slide 10 miles south to Three Rivers' sister city of George West. George West is the Live Oak County seat and is crossed by U.S. Highways 281 and 59. Cattle ranches lie in the west, and there are farms in the east. The ranchers raise beef cattle, and they supplement their income by offering short and long-term hunting leases for the variety of wild game available. The farming usually has grain sorghum as the primary crop and cotton as the off-year rotational crop. In the 1920s, oil and gas was discovered in the area, and over the years, exploration and production support services have been a constant source of employment. Mining technology innovations of the last decade may make it possible to reactivate the uranium mines to the east and southeast. George West also has a fledgling ecotourism business, offering visitors the chance to see the best of nature's wildlife in their beautiful and natural habitats. George West is home to a Class AA category high school, whose mascot is a longhorn. Their rivalry with neighboring Three Rivers always produces very competitive athletic competitions. Home to 972 households and a population of 2,445 residents, the George West area stands to offer VTX Telecom approximately 600 to 700 new customers. George West will have a VTX Telecom Work Center with a fully staffed business office. Their civic and social calendar includes the Chamber of Commerce banquet in the middle of January, the IBCA annual Wild Hog Cook-Off in middle February, George West Story Fest the first weekend of November, and the Live Oak County Big Buck Contest running through white-tailed deer hunting season. VTX Telecom is delighted to have the opportunity to serve the city of George West in the near future. From down in Live Oak County, we head up north to the Atascosa County seat, Jourdanton. In 1909, Mr. Jordan Campbell and Colonel T.H. Zanderson formed the town, intending for it to be a stop along the Artesian Belt Rail Line. It served as a shipping site for livestock and cotton on the way to San Antonio. In just 5 short years, Jourdanton had electricity, telephones, a cotton gin, and a grist mill. The town continued growing steadily until the 1960s, when the rail line shut down after completion of U.S. Interstate 37. The discovery of the Eagle Ford Shale Formation helped Jourdanton to rebound, and today Jourdanton's economy is largely centered around the oil and gas industry. As with most locations in South Texas, you cannot consider commerce without the standard farming and ranching. Cotton, grain, sorghum, and cattle are in abundance in the area, and there are plenty of hunting ranches too. A few miles south, lignite mining provides hundreds of jobs. Lignite, also known as brown coal, is used for steam electric power generation. Many residents make the daily commute to travel 22 miles north to work in the San Antonio Toyota truck manufacturing plant. With 2 new gated communities being developed for these workers, it is said that Jourdanton is becoming a second-tier suburb of San Antonio. Jourdanton is another of the towns being served by VTX Telecom that has a growing regional hospital. The long-term economic outlook for Jourdanton is extremely positive. Unlike its neighboring community, Pleasanton to the east, Jourdanton still has plenty of land for growth, including a large amount of developable land within the city limits. The Jourdanton Independent School District is academically recognized and consists of an elementary school, middle school, and Class AA high school, whose mascot is the Indians. With 1,546 housing units and a population of 3,874, Jourdanton offers VTX Telecom a chance to gain at least 1,000 customers in a single incorporated town. VTX Telecom will have a new combination business office and work center located in Jourdanton, with plans to support Charlotte and Somerset further down the line. In the first week of February, Jourdanton hosts the Atascosa County Junior Livestock Show and Fair. In the third week of February, the Chamber of Commerce holds its annual barbecue dinner and auction. In the second week of May, the Jourdanton Volunteer Fire Department has its annual barbecue and fajita cook-off. In the third week of August, the Jourdanton Chamber of Commerce holds its annual Chamber of Commerce banquet. We're excited to have Jourdanton join our family of VTX communities, and we believe the feelings are mutual. Jourdanton truly is a town on the grow. Our final new VTX Telecom community is Charlotte. Located in western Atascosa County and formed in 1910, Charlotte was named after the daughter of Dr. Charles Simmons in recognition of his work developing the town. The town has Texas Highway 97 passing through it, with Jourdanton to the east and Dilley to the west. The town also has Texas FM 1333, 140, and 1548 that connect Charlotte with Christine to the south, Somerset to the north, and Coyote to the northwest. Charlotte's primary industries are ranching and farming. Dairy and beef cattle are raised on the ranches, and many of the herds have been upgraded to registered purebloods. In the Charlotte area, there is a mix of dryland farming coupled with center pivot irrigation systems that produce grain sorghum, cotton, peanuts, potatoes, and hay. The growing area is in the northeast section of the Texas Winter Garden area. As most of the new VTX Telecom towns, Charlotte is located above the Eagle Ford Shale and oil and gas formation, so the oil field exploration, development, and production support companies do well. Charlotte ISD is home to a combined elementary, middle, and Class A high school campus on the northeast side of town. Their mascot is a Trojan. There are 644 housing units in town and a population of 1,715 residents, offering VTX Telecom a chance to gain at least 300 to 400 new customers in the town and service area. VTX Telecom will serve Charlotte out of the Jourdanton Work Center. With the VTCI exchanges of San Miguel, Fowlerton, and Tilden nearby, and by being served by our fixed broadband wireless services for about 3 years, many Charlotte residents and businesses have a working knowledge of VTCI. We think that with our reputation for good service at fair prices, VTX Telecom will excel at gaining new customers. VTX Telecom welcomes the opportunity to provide a full range of enhanced broadband services to the residents and businesses calling Charlotte their home. In closing, you may have noticed that we've been pairing up the towns that are clustered together geographically. As you can see, many of the new VTX Telecom towns have a sister city nearby. This makes the critical mass that VTX Telecom has been trying to reach easier to achieve. With the rollout of new services, these towns will become part of the fabric of a newer and larger Valley Telephone family. We hope that you have enjoyed learning a little bit about the people, history, and industry of the places we call our communities. For VTCI, I'm Dave Osborne. Until next time.